There is a place that is spoken about only in whispers. A dark area that spawns the beginnings of urban legends. A place where anything can happen and usually does. During the light of day, it hides just outside of view. But when the sun goes down, spirits, creatures of the night, roam free, and things do go bump in the night. It is in every state and every country, and there is no escaping it, no matter how safe you feel behind your locked doors and latched windows. So we invite you to turn down the lights and turn up your radio while we join Dave Schrader and Tim Dennis, your hosts, on a journey into the darkness on the edge of town.
Good evening and welcome to the Darkness on the Edge of Town Paranormal Radio Show. This is your host, Dave Schrader, along with me again, my producer and co-host, Tim Dennis. This evening, we've got a great show for you coming up. We have local psychic medium Jessalyn Devereaux will be in the studio with us here in a few minutes to talk. And we also have at the top of the 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, we've got Brian Hanois from the Ghost Hunters TV show. So please stick with us. If you have any questions for Brian or for Jessalyn, we're going to open up the phone lines at 612-375-1400. But before we get started, I do have a very special guest with us on the phone right now. His name is Todd Sheets. Todd is a producer of horror movies and director of horror movies. He also has another fantastic paranormal radio show called Night Watch, and you can access that by going to nightwatchshow.com. Todd, good evening.
Hey, how you doing, Dave?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
Great. I wanted to just have the opportunity to have you on the show here for a little bit this evening, kind of talk about your show, make sure that people know that there's another fantastic paranormal radio show out there that if they need a fix during the week, they can tune in to you. And you're on Tuesday nights, is that correct?
Well, it's kind of cool. If you go to our website through different affiliates, you can almost catch us any night of the week, and so anytime you need that fix. But first, before we even get into that, let me say, not out of anything like, any kind of goofy reasoning, but I very rarely do come on other shows and make appearances like this. And the reason I'm doing this is because not only do I personally, but Night Watch as a whole, including all the staff, wholeheartedly embraces and supports your show and you. And I want to let everyone know that right up front, it's not because I think I'm better than any other shows or anything like that. It's because I'm usually too darn busy. I'm usually working nonstop pretty much all the time. Everyone says, how are you getting by on 4 hours of sleep, Todd? And I just do.
You'll sleep when you're dead, right?
Right. And it's because of the fact that I just really embrace your show. So when you said, hey, can you do this? It happened to be on a Sunday night at a time when I could do it. So I said, hell yeah, let's do it. Great.
Well, we really appreciate having you on here, and I'd like to thank you. You've made my co-host cry. He's
well,
very
good.
Sensitive. Well, Todd, let's talk real quick. I know you've got a couple of exciting guests coming up on your show here over the next couple of weeks. Why don't you tell us who your lineup is?
First of all, let me tell everybody that no matter who you are, you're an interesting guest to me. I mean, sure, you have your star quality guests they consider, the name guests. But anyone who's in the field and who's working hard and who's doing the best they can is a star to me. So anytime anyone comes on the show, much like yourself, we treat them like a star. We give them the full respect they deserve. Coming up on the show, we do have some interesting guests. We've got Brian, like you, the same guy you're having tonight. He's a fantastic guy. And then we've got Jason and Grant coming on from Ghost Hunters, and they'll be on the 28th. So it's going to be a great next few weeks. Brian's on our show in April, April 25th. And we've got a mutual love for Darth Vader, so I can't wait to explore that avenue. But all the guests in between, every single person we've got this coming week, we've got a guy that's an author, Rest in Pieces. He did the book Rest in Pieces. He's a great author, and I'm just excited to have him as well. So anyone who's on the show is a great guest, and it's always informative, and it's always a lot of fun. So I urge people just to come in and listen to these guys talk and kind of hear what they have to say.
And do you open up the phone lines for your listeners as well so they can call in or email in questions?
Yeah, we do. We do that.
Awesome.
We have all kinds of, we have chat rooms, we have forums, we have numerous ways for people to contact and keep in touch and to talk. And it's a lot of fun. And it's mainly to keep the whole kind of paranormal community as a whole a little stronger And not just the paranormal community, but we have like conspiracies, we have UFOs, werewolves, you name it, it's going to be on there because it's fun, The stuff that the other maybe talk shows would never touch, we're embracing it because we love it. So
great. And for most people that want to tune in for the live show, though, that's Tuesday nights, correct?
That is Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central. You can just go to nightwatchshow.com. And if you're having problems because it's full or whatever, there's a million affiliates that are also playing it at that time. Just click in there and start listening to some of those guys, too.
Now, if you're a member of MySpace, you also have it, is it on MySpace or at myperispace.com that you have it streaming?
Both of those have streaming, and you can tune in at 9 o'clock at night on both of those networks. And on the MySpace one, you just hit play. And on the MyPerispace one, you just open the page, and it just starts playing.
Great. So go to your profile, which is Nightwatch.
It's like Nightwatch Radio on MySpace. It's myspace.com/NightwatchRadio. Hit the play button, and it's going to play for you. On MyPerispace, I believe it's MyPerispace/Nightwatch, and there you go.
Fantastic. Well, for all of you paranormal lovers, make sure you tune in. Todd's a great guy. He's a great host. He has a lot of fantastic guests out there, and Todd is one of the people that I used to listen to a couple months back here that really got me interested in doing a paranormal radio show and wanted to bring something like this available to people here in Minnesota and to my friends over the internet. So, Todd, I want to thank you very much for the help that you've given our show and for the support that you keep showing us, and keep up the great work.
Always, Dave, always, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and everybody, support the shows, and everybody who's listening that's a part of a group, a paranormal group, embrace each other and embrace these shows, and everybody work together, and don't allow ego or anything to get into the picture. Let's all just have a good time.
That's right. And if you have great paranormal stories or pictures that you'd like to share with Todd, or you're part of a paranormal group, would like to be a guest, you can contact Todd by going to his website at nightwatchshow.com and click on the links there to contact Todd, let him know about it. If you're a psychic, a medium, a vampire, a werewolf, a Loch Ness monster, if you happen to be Nessie, Todd wants you on his show.
Let's not forget if your mom's dating Bigfoot. That's one of my favorites.
I don't know what you've heard. They're just good friends.
That's right.
I'm a little hairy, Todd. Does that qualify?
That could qualify. You could be a guest.
Okay. Good deal. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Todd. And
thank you.
You've been listening to Todd Sheets, the host of Night Watch on nightwatchshow.com. It's a paranormal radio show live every Tuesday night at 9. And right now in the studio with us, we have Jessalyn Devereaux. Jessalyn is an internationally renowned psychic medium who continues to combine ancient healing wisdom with practical techniques that make sense in today's fast-paced world. She combines her talents as a keynote speaker, author, artist, musician, and she also has founded the New Paradigm Group, a groundbreaking company that bridges the gap between metaphysical and business life. Good evening, Jessalyn.
Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Jessalyn, you've got quite an extensive list of things that you're involved with here, beginning with psychic and medium, getting into ancient healing. Could you give me a little bit of background? How did you get started? When did you learn that you had some of these abilities? And is this something that people... I'll get into that question later. Let's just go ahead. How did you get started in this, and when did you realize that you had psychic and mediumship powers?
Well, I always, as a child, I just knew things. I could tell what people were feeling. I would just have this ability to be able to pinpoint what was going on. And people used to say that I was like a little ancient person. And there's just some times when different events would happen as a child, and I would just realize that there were other entities that I could hear. I could hear spirits and things like that, and that was always a something that I've just been accustomed to.
Okay, all right. So it's just this ability from childhood on. How about getting into the healing? And with the psychic and medium powers, is this something that you're born with? Is it something that you can learn to Tim and I don't claim to have any psychic bones in my body. I mean, once in a while I get the gut intuition and double down when I shouldn't have. But, but I mean, you get that gut feeling. Can can you train people to develop their psychic abilities?
Absolutely.
Do you believe everybody has psychic abilities within them?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Everyone does. It's just a matter of frequency and vibration. It's a really easy way to put it. The higher you raise your vibration, the easier it is for you to be able to access information from the other side. And that is definitely something that can be taken upon as a study, and a practice of raising the vibration. People do that through yoga. They do that through meditation, taking classes and exercises. But definitely everyone can increase the abilities that they naturally have.
So is it, for lack of a better term, we've all seen Star Wars, there's the force that's all around us. Is that, just using that broad kind of term, is that basically what you're tapping into, is this unseen energy force that we all are a part of, and you're just learning to manipulate that and open yourself up to it more?
Yeah, and it's it's really realizing that you have that within you at all times, and really being able to expand and direct that energy is very important.
Great. Now you're putting ideas in Tim's head. He's over there trying to do the scanners thing and blow my head up. I can see him.
Your head is getting bigger.
That's right. We do have a question here that was emailed in, and I apologize. I forgot to jot down who it was that asked the question. So I'm sorry for not giving you credit on the air here with us. But she was wondering, she had a couple questions here. She wanted to know, this is Michelle Hall, I believe her name is, Michelle Hall, that emailed in these questions. And she wants to know if there's a time frame to which someone who's passed over to come into contact with the living again, is there like an adjustment period, or could it be that they just won't ever contact us?
Basically, they can even start contacting before they cross over. I had an incident happen about a year and a half ago. I was actually taking a seminar for a business seminar, actually, and it was very interesting because the instructor of the course, all of a sudden, she came up to me afterwards, and I just started sensing her grandmother around her very strongly. And even just kind of mentioned a few different things, and then she said to me that her grandmother was actually in a hospice with about 6 weeks to live. And so what was actually happening was she was already making visitations from her illness bed. She was already making visitations and being very strongly with the people that she loved, so much so that she almost appeared to me in the form of, how I would regularly expect a spirit to come through.
Well, and I don't know if maybe I'm misunderstanding the question myself, but I guess I'll rephrase it for myself too. If somebody has been, if they've died, I guess if Tim died tomorrow, would it be easier? Would it be easier for him to come through to you in spirit form now, or if he died 50 years ago? Would it be easier the longer out there, or the longer out there do you get less strength to make contact?
I'm going to really have to say that depends on the individual soul. It depends upon the strength and the will that you have to stay in communication. There's entities that do a lot of channeling through other people in this world that we live in. And it's interesting to note, like if you look at like J.Z. Knight, she channels an entity who lived on the earth some thousands of years ago, and so that's an instance of a very, very strong entity that comes through in the form of channeling. So it could be either, a person has a very strong energy force within themselves, and when they do, they can come through for centuries.
Okay. Well, do you believe in reincarnation yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then, and I'll get to your next question here in a second, Michelle, but do you think that then, Mom passed away a year ago, you're trying to reach her, there's just no contact, there's no signs, there's nothing. Could it be that she's just moved on and is already back here on Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
I've experienced that, definitely.
All right. The other question she wanted to know is it easy to miss signs that someone is trying to contact you?
Well, sure. I mean, the key to a lot of what I work with as a psychic is really personal development. And when you're focusing on listening to the messages that your guides and your angels have for you, that is what's going to help you, transform yourself and where you're going. So part of that is really paying attention to the signs that are all around you. One of the easy things you can do is pay attention to the songs you hear on the radio, or you could even ask a question, and then just turn the radio on and go to a station and see if that song that you hear has something in its lyrics or something in its music that answers the question that you have. It's remarkable.
So you don't think it's a coincidence? Or, I have a friend of mine, Henry, whose father passed away some time ago, and I believe he smoked Parliament cigarettes, something you don't see much anymore, the Parliament packs. But he says every now and again, and usually like on special dates, he'll be out somewhere and turn around and bam, there's a Parliament ad or there's a Parliament pack or something. I mean, do you think that that's a sign, or is it just coinky-dink?
Yes, and then other people will actually smell. They'll have actual faint whiffs.
I told you to take a shower this evening, Tim. I'm glad Jessalyn brought this up. Okay, so yeah, they'll catch the smells and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about all that too, because it's kind of amazing to me with the passing over. And Michelle, I hope we answered your questions well enough for you there. So it just depends on the strength and the want to communicate with you.
The willingness.
Okay.
Definitely.
Or if they might have moved on already back into a new form. And then with the signs, one thing I'll mention here before we go to break, I have a lot of people ask me, they'll say, how do you, I've seen a lot that's happened in my own life with contact with loved ones that have passed on.
Sure.
And they want to know how you see the signs. And it always kind of makes me laugh. One of my favorite scenes in any movie is from a really bad 80s movie called The Man with Two Brains with Steve Martin.
All right.
And in it, his wife has died, and Kathleen Turner is going to become his new wife, and she's just this evil, slutty woman who's cheating on him and doing all these things behind his back. And he's standing there in front of the fireplace in the mantle, and there's this huge, beautiful painting of his dead wife on the wall, and he goes, honey, I'm about to marry this woman, and I just want to know, is this something you want me to do? Are you happy with this? Just give me a sign. And the whole room starts to shake, and the picture starts spinning around on the wall, and you hear this voice moaning, no, no, and things are flying all over. And he stands there, and then it all stops, and he goes, well, I'm just going to take your picture down and put it in the closet till you're ready to give me a sign. So I always think that's kind of funny, because I've seen things that people, and I even now experience in my adult life, things that I can look back and go, holy crap. Was this what was happening to me back then? Was I getting EVPs? Was I getting messages from people that I just, this isn't real, and I just dismiss it from what it was, because there's so much of that it happens. I think there's plenty of signs out there.
Sure.
You just have to be looking, and but do you ever find that maybe you look too hard and you kind of make signs up that weren't there?
Well, if that's what you want to believe.
Okay. That's fair enough. You're listening to the Darkness on the Edge of Town radio show. Our guest this evening is Jessalyn Devereaux. We'll be back with more with Jessalyn right after this.
Once you have seen Dave and Tim in the light, you'll understand why we must return to the darkness on the edge of town. Stay tuned. There is more to come.
This is Dave Schrader from the Darkness on the Edge of Town radio show. Each week, we delve into the web of the unknown and deal with a lot of scary subjects. But nothing makes my blood run colder or scares me more than dealing with technology. That's why we turn to the experts when we wanted our website for the show set up and maintained. In the studio with me is Don Raleigh, owner of Evolve Systems. Don and his exceptional staff were easy to work with and made setting up our site a breeze. Don, what is it that sets you apart from other web developers?
Well, Dave, we make your business visions come to life by creating, maintaining, and hosting all of your internet needs. We do this by listening to our clients. We offer programs and price plans to fit any budget. And Dave, I mean any budget. Call us at 651-628-4000 and put us to work for you.
Call Don at Evolve Systems, 651-628-4000. I did, and I couldn't be happier with the results.
That's because we take the out of technology, Dave. Call us today at 651-628-4000 or visit us on the web at www.evolve-systems.com, serving the entire United States. That's Evolve Systems, helping you to manage change. Cheers.
If you read Taps Power Mag every month, you'll be able to tell the difference between the absurd
Could not go to work because Bigfoot stole my car.
and the creepy. Taps Power Mag takes you where few would ever go on purpose. From exclusive interviews with the cast of the ghost hunters, to the latest trends in technology, the field of the paranormal. To join our journey, order at tapsparamag.com.
Try not to fall asleep. We'll only give you nightmares. Welcome back to the darkness on the edge of town.
Good evening and welcome back to the Darkness on the Edge of Town Paranormal Radio Show. This is Dave Schrader, along with me, co-host and producer Tim Dennis, and our guest this evening is Jessalyn Devereaux from Minnesota. Jessalyn is a psychic and a medium. She's into ancient healing wisdom. Now, what exactly is that, Jessalyn? What is ancient healing wisdom, and how do you use it?
Ancient healing wisdom is the principle that is really, carried through all of the modern day healing that we intend. Things such as Qigong and Tai Chi, I'm sure you've heard of those. Those are activities that really incorporate the primal nature of us all and the healing mechanisms that are within. And that is the knowledge that we are all energy, and that the physical body is a copy, if you will, of the etheric body, and that by doing healings and different kinds of exercises and techniques upon the etheric body, it helps to heal the physical body.
So if my physical body has cancer, do you believe that there's exercises I can do for my ethereal body that I can get rid of it or push it out?
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely. Qigong is a remarkable technique that works in healing things like that, and is Reiki as well.
Now, what can you give us a little background on what Qigong is, and how would I start to do this? Where would I learn how to do these type of experiences?
Some of them you can learn in a class that I teach called Energy Makeovers. And basically, Qigong is a variety of different movements that you make with your arms, with your whole body. It's an exercise, and it helps to actually move the energy within your body, depending on the different positions, the hand positions that you do.
Okay. On the phone with us right now, Jessalyn, we've got Margaret calling in, and she had a question or two for you here. Margaret, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Margaret, this is Jessalyn. I'll shut up and let you guys go.
Hi, Margaret.
Actually, the reason I'm calling is I'm sort of in a crossroads at my life, and I'm feeling as though I'm supposed to be doing something, but I can't figure out what that is. My personal life is wonderful. I have a wonderful husband, wonderful children, so that's not it. It's more spiritual, and I was hoping you could give me some direction.
Well, what it is that is making you feel this need for change in your life is your inner spirit. Your inner spirit is talking to you, but there's a portion that is unable to come all the way through to communicate to you the answers. And so my suggestion is definitely going to be find ways that you can slow down within your day. Find some practices, some kinds of meditation. Like I said, Qigong is a great technique to use as well for getting in touch with your inner spirit and really connecting to that voice within, because you know the answers. They're inside of you. And, when I work with people, that is, definitely the number one priority, that I like to focus on, is that you do have these answers. It's just a matter of getting connected within to allow them to come out. So.
And, and a couple people have told me that, you already know what the answer is. And, I have these dreams of, these ancient healers coming and talking to me, and I'll go take classes, and and a lot of it I already seem to know, or parts of it they'll say you have to do it this way, but everything in me is telling me, it really have to do it this other way. And then, of course, they yell at me because they're telling me I did it wrong.
And what you're doing there is you're simply remembering the knowledge that you once forgot, and that's what we're all doing right now. We're all doing it in different levels all the time. So, good luck with your connecting within and continuing to research those ways of feeding that connection.
And, if I could add in, Margaret, and Jessalyn, maybe you can chime in on this. I know Margaret from the different boards and paranormal boards that we've interacted on. And I always notice, Margaret, you always start things off with, I don't know if this is a dumb question, or people are going to think I'm crazy. I'm wondering if maybe that's part of the reason you're not getting the full message, is you're so busy debating with yourself the nuttiness of what you think you might be experiencing. Jessalyn, do you find that if you're doing that kind of closes you to what the real messages might be coming through, or the path, you might be missing the path, kind of like the last question about, is it easy to miss signs?
Well, it's going to take us as long as we decide it's going to take us, and we're all remembering. Right now, we're all remembering. And so, awakening yourself up to, more information about, combining and connecting and really integrating all of these different worlds. Because one of the things I'm hearing from you is that you feel very torn between a lot of different things in your life, between, the family, the work, the committees and the volunteering and the interests and stuff that you have. And, you came to this planet in the form that you're in right now for a purpose. And you need to be living that purpose, whatever it is. And so Dave is right, and some of that, to get so clear about where it is that you want to go within your life, and just to be honest about it, because my sense is that there are things that you want to do that you keep saying to yourself, oh no, I shouldn't. But you know what? You should, because that is part of your gift to share with the world.
Okay. And do you have any ideas of where I should start looking? Or is that more up to me?
Start looking inside. Start looking in the mirror. Start looking at the ways, what can you do tomorrow? What can you do, with the energy of the spring equinox coming tomorrow? I mean, that's huge. That's huge. It's a great time for personal transformation and for personal dedication. It sounds to me like you're at a point where a personal dedication to your own self and to your spiritual growth is, necessary.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, thank you very much for calling in tonight, Margaret. I hope we were able to answer your questions.
Thanks a lot.
Have a great one. Thank you.
Too.
Thanks, Margaret.
Bye-bye.
Now, Jessalyn, you were talking about the equinox coming up?
Yes.
Can you fill us in a little bit about that? For those of us that are, I'm still relatively new to all of the different metaphysical and paranormal changes that are going on, but with the equinox, what does that bring? What does it mean to us? How can we harness it or use it for our, benefit?
Yeah. The spring equinox each year comes around. There are, 2 equinoxes and 2 solstices, and those are what we call the 4 cross quarters, okay? And those are the points in time throughout the year when we talk about the wheel of the year, where the spring equinox occurs. When this happens, it's time to remind us to check in with ourselves, with our direction, our current direction in life, and where we're going, and to check in to see where do we have balance in our lives and where don't we have balance. And our last caller brought up, some points that are going on for a lot of people right now. A lot of people are looking for ways to create balance in their lives with, the increasing energy of the spring. Everyone, you want to add all this stuff to do in your life, but what are you going to take away from? Okay? And it's time to really, sit within side of yourself and see what it is that you need to release and what is it that you need to embrace. And the spring equinox really helps us to tune into that energy.
Now, what are you said there's 2 equinoxes, spring and
autumn.
And autumn.
Yes.
Are there different powers or different things to do during those times of years?
Yes. If you look at the squirrels, look at nature. Right now, animals are getting ready for the summer, the spring to come, and for the life to come back in. So that's what we focus on a lot. We focus on spring cleaning. in our homes, okay? Figuring out what we're going to do this summer, signing up for summer activities for the kids. You have to do that about this time of year.
I know it. 5 kids, I'm booked all year round.
Yeah. And the autumn equinox, which is late September, is the time to, go through what we have, done in the previous growing season, okay? And, figure out what needs to be stored and what needs to be released. So again, it's an opportunity for going within and finding that balance, because with the balance, something needs to be released, something needs to be embraced.
Fair enough. Sounds like a good plan for just about everybody. Now, what does the equinox bring to us, though?
The balance.
Okay, well, no, did I say that right? There's the solstice.
There's the solstices.
Okay, solstices.
That's what you're talking about.
Solstices.
Solstice is that stuff you put on your chips.
No, that's salsa, Tim.
Oh,
God. Now you know why I'm the host. Go on.
There's the winter solstice in late December, and the summer solstice in late June, June 21st. And basically, again, these are important points within the cycle of the seasons, and times to really help us to check in and go within and really connect to our inner spirit.
During those 4 times of year, do you find that those are the times that are strongest for you to start to develop your abilities and to look for healings? And is that going to open it up to make it a little bit easier to get healed or to get help?
It could be construed that way, because during those times, what they call the veils between the worlds get thinner.
All right.
Okay, and the reason is because there are, planetary factors that are aligning at those times, and when that happens, oftentimes, I remember in some of my classes that we had going on this past winter season, that people who had not seen spirits before physically manifest, that during the time of Yule, which is December 21st till New Year's, which is the 12 days, where the 12 days of Christmas comes from.
Oh, okay.
During that time, we call that's when the veils are thin, okay? And people have much more of a tendency to be able to hear spirits during that time, even if they hadn't previously. Because, like I said, the veils are thinner, so that it's definitely an opportune time for creating personal transformation. And if that happens to, be, connecting to the other side in some way, then that definitely helps open that up.
Now, I know that you've got a lot of upcoming events, and I want to tell people about these so that we can make sure that we cover it. Now, one thing that's coming up here, and actually that's in 2 weeks, on Wednesday, March 29th, in Minneapolis here, is you have an Oshun Reiki certification class coming up. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what all will that cover for you? I mean, is that just teaching you how to get this done? Is this something you had to have been working on for a while, or is this like a CPR class? You can go in and take a 4-hour session and understand how to do it and then get certified?
Yeah, it's basically where you come and you learn how to do the technique, the Reiki technique, and it teaches you, techniques to help build your aura, to help build the strength of your own aura, and to identify what energy drainage is. A lot of people have issues where they have a lot of energy inside that they don't know what to do with. They don't know really how to direct their energy. We talk a lot about that in these classes.
Okay, well, if you need, guys to just lay around and get healed, Tim and I are
all right.
Yeah.
Then, so that's coming up on March 29th, from 7:30 p.m. it starts, correct? Or from 5:30 to 7:30 in Minneapolis. Yeah. Then on Saturday, April 1st, we have the Meet the Psychics, Meet the Healers Day, and the theme for this one is Awakening the Healer Within.
Yes.
It'll be hosted by Jessalyn, includes a free mini session. It's in Minneapolis through the Learning Annex. And along with you, there's going to be Susan Just, the hypnotherapist, correct? There's going to be Hanakia Zedek,
correct?
Yes. And then I can't remember.
We're also going to be having Bobby Sullivan from the Echo Bodine show from the center.
And he does aura photography and analysis for you.
Yeah.
And is it Gina Satoli?
Gina is not going to be at this next one, but we're hoping to get her out for one of the next ones after that.
I think CJ Sellers is going to be out at it as well.
CJ's going to come out and do
some mini readings.
Alma Soriano is going to be doing
fantastic.
readings.
And Alma's great for doing the tarot readings too. So
definitely.
She's very nice lady. I think you'll enjoy it. I had the opportunity to participate in the last program, and I'll be here at this program with you hosting the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
So we'll be there. So make sure to write that down if you have an interest in coming out. It's Saturday, April 1st. And again, the theme is Awakening the Healer Within. It's the Meet the Psychics, Meet the Healers Day. You can look up information about that by going to learningannex.com. That's learningannex.com, and you'll be able to get the information right there. Then we have another class coming up in April. It's Professional Angel Certification Workshop, and that comes up Saturday, April 22nd from 10 to 4 in Minneapolis. And what's a Professional Angel Certification? What does that do?
Professional Angel Certification is basically a technique that I've developed based on my years of study and teaching to, integrate ways of doing an intuitive reading and an energy healing session at the same time in one session. And so what I'm doing is we're inviting some people to be part of the network and part of the program that we're doing through our company to actually learn the techniques and be able to carry them on. So It's really exciting.
And then the last one we'll mention right now is coming up on Saturday, May 6th. It's the Inner Spirit Day Retreat, where you're to connect with your natural abundance, and that's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's also in Minneapolis. And if you have any questions about these, they can go directly to your website, correct?
Yes.
Which is professionalangel.com.
Yes.
And you can go right there, look up all the information on where Jessalyn's going to be and the classes she's going to be hosting. You're listening to the Darkness on the Edge of Town radio show. Our guest this evening is Jessalyn Devereaux. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Jessalyn. We have a couple more questions from emailers. And just thank you for tuning in. Stay with us. And remember, at 11 o'clock joining us is Brian Hanois from TV's Sci-Fi Ghost Hunters show.
We thought El Chupacabra meant the cup of coffee in Spanish.
Mi amo Eduardo Especial. ¿Cómo está el yay?
What you talking about, Willis?
Shows you what we know. Stay tuned. There's more to come from the darkness on the edge of town.
Tri-Minnesota Mortgage was founded on one simple principle: to be your complete mortgage resource. Keith Troutman and the experts at Tri-Minnesota Mortgage will assist you with all your needs. They've built a reputation for client satisfaction and are devoted to making the mortgage process as easy as possible. You get to work with a broker that understands your needs. Finding the right loan is only the beginning. Tri-Minnesota Mortgage will assist you every step of the way to ensure smooth sailing with personal one-on-one help. I'm Dave Schrader, the host of Darkness on the Edge of Town. When I bought my new home, I turned to Keith Troutman to help me. He made what could have been a very stressful time easy and painless. He was considerate and realizes that this is more than just a job to him. It's the future for you. I recommend them to my friends, and I'm happy to recommend them to you. To take the first step to a financially free tomorrow, call 952-223-5000 or visit them on the web at cruiseatclose.com. For a fresh start, no matter what your current situation, call Keith at Tri-Minnesota Mortgage. That's 952-223-5000. As Keith says, it's your money. Keep more of it. That's Tri-Minnesota Mortgage, 952-223-5000.
Would you like to contact a loved one who has crossed over to the other side? Do you worry about your own health issues or those of a loved one? Are you curious about your relationships and your career? If any of these questions have crossed your mind recently, then this is an experience that you cannot miss. Come join me, Jessalyn Devereaux, on Saturday, April 1st, as I host the Meet the Psychics, Meet the Healers Day at the Minneapolis Learning Annex. Just go online today to www.professionalangel.com to register and find out more. Renew yourself with this day that's sure to inspire miracles and change your life. The day is filled with psychic readings, seminars, and spiritual healing sessions. Plus, everyone who attends will receive a free, complimentary mini-reading. So go online today to www.professionalangel.com or call 651-208-6452. That's 651-208-6452.
2006 is here, and for many of you, another year has passed without treating you and your loved ones to a much-needed getaway. Rocky Shores Resort has just what you're looking for. Join owners Jerry and Kim Pipp at their family-themed resort that offers a heated outdoor swimming pool, volleyball court, playground, spacious lodge with games and activities for the whole family and more. With 6 2- and 3-bedroom cabins that are affordable, comfortable, and fully furnished, and 12 seasonal RV sites, Rocky Shores Resorts is perfect for a private escape or for a family reunion. The resorts are located on the east shores of Bowstring Lake in the heart of the Chippewa National Forest. Here you can relax and enjoy nature in the Great North Woods, experience dozens of area attractions, and get hooked on some of the best northern perch, panfish, bass, and walleye fishing in northern Minnesota. Call 1-866-878-0101 to book reservations or check out their website at rockyshoresresort.com for more information. This year, don't ignore the call of the wild. Embrace it and enjoy yourselves. That number again is 1-866-878-0101. Rocky Shores Resort is open year-round. Call today.
If you read Taps Paramag every month, you'll be able to tell the difference between the absurd
Could not go to work because Bigfoot stole my car.
and the creepy. Taps Paramag takes you where few would ever go on purpose. From exclusive interviews with the cast of The Ghost Hunters to the latest trends in technology, the field of the paranormal. To join our journey, order at tapsparamag.com.
Ghosts, goblins, witches, creatures of the night. Yep, that just about covers everybody Dave and Tim have ever dated.
Oh my God, this girl's really turning me on.
Welcome back to the darkness on the edge of town.
Good evening and welcome back to the show. This is Dave Schrader, your host, along with me, my co-host and producer, Tim Dennis. And our guest this evening is Jessalyn Devereaux. Jessalyn is talking to us about her psychic medium abilities, her healing that she's been a part of, different programs that she's doing. As a matter of fact, we're just going over some different classes she had. She has an Oshun Reiki certification class coming up Wednesday, March 29th in Minneapolis. There's a Meet the Psychics, Meet the Healers Day, Saturday, April 1st in Minneapolis. You can learn more about that by going to learningannex.com. Then on Saturday, April 22nd is a Professional Angel Certification Workshop. And then finally, we just mentioned the Inner Spirit Day Retreat, where you can connect with your natural abundance. That will be Saturday, May 6th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Minneapolis. And if you want more information about any of these courses or classes that are available, you can check out more information on Jessalyn's personal website, which is professionalangel.com. Now, can you tell us real quickly before we move on here, Jessalyn, what exactly is the Inner Spirit Day Retreat and what can you expect from attending a day like that?
It is a day full of wonderful energy where we really focus on, getting to that quiet place within and, hearing the whispers that our inner spirit has to tell us.
All right. We do have a question that came in during the break here from Robin Bailey from the website. Her name on there is I Live to Write. She wants to know, Jessalyn, if you use runes and what you think of them. Now, first of all, for those of us that don't know what the word runes means, could you fill us in? What is a rune and what would you use them for?
Sure. Runes are ancient symbols that are Norse and Germanic in their roots, which they were a form of alphabet, actually, is how they started to be used years and years ago. And it is a magical system that you can tap into to help you with whatever magical endeavors that you choose to move forward with. So I definitely recommend them as a tool to connecting with both divination, which is fortune telling, and getting closer to your intuition as well.
Now, how do you use runes? I mean, are they? Do you mark them up in your home? Are they on cards? Are they?
Sure, you can either do like a rune casting, which is kind of like where they're drawn out on different stones or pieces of paper, and they're kind of thrown out, and then you do a reading that way.
So it's almost like tarot cards.
Yeah.
Where it's whatever comes up, you're able to read and discern what they mean.
Exactly.
Is there a book you can buy that teaches you what each one of these little runes means, or is this?
There are have
to be part of a secret set?
There are several different books. Llewellyn has several different ones that talk about runes. Freya Ashwin is one of the ones that comes to mind, who talks about the power of the runes. So.
Okay. We also have a question here from one of the emailers, Sheila Cave. She was wondering if you can explain to us the different energy regions in our body that you focus on during healings, and more importantly, what happens to those regions in our bodies, such as chronic headaches and things of this nature, when those energy regions are in dire need of healing?
Sure. Well, what basically is going on when a person is experiencing, let's say they've got chronic headaches that they're dealing with, what's happening is that there is a blockage of energy that is taking place in the etheric body. And so what we would do is focus on different areas or different chakras of the body, which is basically a system of mapping the energy of your body. So we would work on, for instance, the crown chakra in that instance, to work at clearing the energy of the crown chakra out so that more peaceful, lighter vibrational energy can flow into that area.
See, I get a lot of migraines and a lot of headaches right up in where my third eye would be almost.
Yeah.
Is that something, now, can I learn how to clear for myself, or do I need people to clear for me?
You can learn how to clear for yourself, definitely. Okay. And that's getting it done to you, and then also learning how to do it yourself is very important.
Now, I don't mean to come off too skeptical to you on these things. I'm still learning, and Tim is learning, and we're asking these questions. But to me, it just sounds like power of the mind, where if I believe that you have this ability to clear me, if I open myself up to that, that's what's actually working. It's not that you're actually pulling something from me. I mean, do you know what I'm getting at with that? Is it partly part of just power of the mind, and part of you have this ability to do it? I mean, because some of this stuff sounds like snake oil salesmanship to me, and I don't mean that's not a slam on you at all. I know that you've got great abilities. I've seen you in the programs, and I've had the chance to work with you here quite a bit. But I just mean for the people that are listening and everything, I mean, I've watched people clear, and they're waving their hands around the heads and pulling back, and to me it looks like a bunch of voodoo, crazy stuff. I'm open to it because I'd love to figure out how to get rid of these headaches and stomach aches that I get all the time and stress. So, I'm open to getting that done. But I mean, is a lot of it just opening yourself up? And if you have that faith that it's going to happen, that maybe your mind is helping that and it's just tapping into the energy anyway? Or how would you consider that working?
I consider that you're the healer.
Okay.
I don't consider that I'm the healer.
You're just there as the kind of conduit to help me.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But because the thing is that I can do those kinds of things with energy because I can see energy. Okay. That's there are people who can see the energy in the etheric world. That's what makes it a lot easier for them to do that. So while you're just seeing people kind of wave their hands, the people who can see visually what they're doing are actually seeing, esoteric matter or etheric matter, coming and moving. But in essence, it can only be moved if it's something you're open to. If it's a healing that you're ready for, it will happen. But, it's...
well, that makes sense. Well, we've got about 4 minutes left here in the show, and I want to make sure that we talk about, you've got a new group that you've started up. The information I have here says that the Oshun Center has joined forces with the New Paradigm Group to offer even more services to help meet the need for the busy professionals. At New Paradigm Group, we're committed to bringing the gap between wisdom, health, and healing in a system that works in today's fast-paced world. With enlightening sessions, special events, and retreats, we help you learn how to uncover the hidden magic and wisdom within you to create a life that brings you to that still point within every day, so you can harness your true power to ignite your dreams and find your balance. If people want more information about this and exactly what else do you do with this group that people can get this help from you?
They can go to my website at either professionalangel.com, or we have a new one that we've placed up now called enterthenewparadigm.com. And basically, we really focus on ways with the New Paradigm Group of helping to bridge the gap between, the rushing and the running around and all the responsibilities and priorities that we're all having in our lives. It seems that sometimes those things are starting to interfere with our connection with our inner spirit. And so what this company is focusing on is helping to bridge that gap between a person's inner spirit and their regular life, so they can, be connected and more within their peaceful state of mind.
So is this a group that they can join, or is this more just the classes and things that you're offering up that we spoke about earlier?
Yeah, this is a company. New Paradigm Group is the parent company for the classes and the retreats that are being offered.
Okay. And again, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, she's got a lot of great programs coming up, like the one coming up in April, on April 1st. It is the Awakening Your Healer Within. That's the Meet the Psychics, Meet the Healer seminar series through the Learning Annex. And you can check that out at going to learningannex.com. And Robin, the lovely phone girl, will put up a link for us on our site so that you can look up that information as well. We've got that coming up. We've got you've got energy makeover classes, inner spirit connections. You've got the Oshun Reiki certification classes, listening to your angels, power of psychic attraction, inner rhythms, and all of this information is available on your website, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And if people want to have you come out to do programs for them, can they reach you to do that as well? Are you available for that?
Yes, on the website there's email and phone contact information on there. So.
Great. Well, is there anything, we're wrapping up, we've got about 30 seconds left. Is there anything else you want to share with us that we maybe haven't had a chance to touch on tonight? And more importantly, can we have you back in the future? Talk to you a little bit more.
Well, certainly.
Okay.
I would like to, just again touch on the spring equinox happening and occurring, and as being a way for us to all find our balance within and really tap in to our own inner spirit.
Great. Well, I thank you very much for joining us this evening, Jessalyn, here on the Darkness on the Edge of Town radio show. At the top of the hour coming up here, we're going to go to news. When we come back, we've got our special guest coming to us from the Sci-Fi Channel's hit TV show Ghost Hunters, which is returning to the air in 2 weeks on Wednesday, the 29th. We've got Brian Hanwha, who is, as you know, one of the more popular characters on the show, was actually off for the beginning part of the second season here. He's back for the back nine. He's here to talk to us a little bit about his experiences in the paranormal world, talking to us about the show, talking to us about the things that you can expect in season 2, the last 9 episodes, talking about a possible season 3 coming up. Got a lot of great information. We're also going to open up the phone lines. You can call and ask Brian any questions at 612-375-1400. Again, that number is 612-375-1400. Here from Darkness on the Edge of Town, we'd like to thank our guest, Jessalyn Devereaux. Again, if you have any questions, anything that you'd like to contact her about, you can feel free to contact her at her website, which is professionalangel.com. You're listening to the Darkness on the Edge of Town radio show.